Fantasy Baseball Picks and Bets presented by Prize Picks. I'm JT Hayes, run Pure Sports at JT Hayes Jr. on Twitter.com. If you haven't tried Prize Picks before, here's how you do it. Prize Picks sets a line, basically a fantasy point line, over under that number of fantasy points. That's what you're going to choose for the particular player. But you've got to get an account first. And if you go to prizepicks.com and enter code MMNMLB, that's MMN, like Mayo Media Network, MLB, like Major League Baseball, then you will get a $100 deposit match, and you can start picking some of these plays that we're giving you every night of the week for absolutely free, as long as you like and subscribe to the Mayo Media Network, and keep doing that and keep watching our videos. So, for the 14-game DraftKings slate on Friday, May 7th, there's a game right off the bat that, now, again, not a lot of lines are out right now. I'm recording this at almost midnight on Thursday night, but there's one game that stands out to me, and it's going to be the Minnesota Twins against Tariq Skubal, who I think at some point is going to be a pretty good Major League pitcher, but he's just not there yet, and this Minnesota Twins offense is just loaded with firepower from the right-hand side. Prize Picks did us a little favor. They set a couple of lines that I think are a little bit low for tonight, and that would be Byron Buxton over under 8 fantasy points and Nelson Cruz over under 8 fantasy points. The Twins coming off of a series against the Rangers where I think if you're a Twins fan, you would say it was just a little bit disappointing. If you're a Rangers fan, you're thrilled because they actually put some offense up. But this is a spot where the Twins travel into Detroit. And I think even if they don't somehow get to Tariq Skubal, Detroit's bullpen has been one of the worst in Major League Baseball this year. So the over 8 for Nelson Cruz and Byron Buxton on Prize Picks tonight. Again, enter code MMNMLB, get a $100 deposit match. And by the way, like I said, recording this at midnight on Thursday, I might change my mind. I might decide that there are better plays if more options come out as the morning goes on. But don't worry. You can come and visit runpuresports.com, and you can go ahead and get an account with us and sign up for our monthly package or our monthly DFS Plus Bets package. Use code RPSHeater25 and you'll get 25% off of your first payment there. So, Byron Buxton, Nelson Cruz, I think the Twins are going to put up a lot of runs. I think both Buxton and Cruz are going to go over 8 fantasy points apiece. PrizePicks.com, MMNMLB, get a $100 matching deposit there. So we're a little more than a month into the Major League Baseball season, and if you like no-hitters, if you like outstanding pitching performances, this so far has been your season. Again yesterday in Seattle, John Means. John Means is emerging into an ace. Is emerging? He probably is an ace at this point right now with how he's pitched this season. Goes into Seattle and throws not a perfect game. It was a no-hitter, but look, 9 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, no earned runs, no walks. The team committed no errors. He did throw a wild pitch that allowed a runner to advance to first base on a strikeout, but he still faced the minimum, and depending on what you think of the Madison Bumgarner 7-inning no-hitter, he threw either the 3rd or 4th no-hitter in just the first month of baseball. So very excited to see what happens in Baltimore. A lot of offensive talent, and John Means looks like an absolute ace for this team moving forward. Albert Pujols designated for assignment today. Really difficult decision, I'm sure, by the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. But look, they're 13-16. They've got an emerging first baseman in Jared Walsh. They need to win now. Joe Maddon needs to win now, and they're in a very difficult division. They've got the Oakland Athletics. They've got the Seattle Mariners, who out of nowhere are coming on and look like they're going to hang around and challenge for this division. And you have the Houston Astros playing very good baseball. So, what do? Should these decisions have been made in the offseason? Perhaps, but I'm hopeful that Albert will hook on a surefire first ballot, should be anyway, Hall of Famer, hook on with the team to finish out his career this season. A lot's being made about Tony La Russa and the Chicago White Sox. Tony maybe didn't understand, well, not maybe. He definitely didn't understand the rules in extra innings in a National League park. But look, if we boil this down to the base, it's an American League manager in a National League park. This is something that baseball has done to themselves. They have the designated hitter in one league and not the other. I thought last year was fantastic with the DH everywhere. Now you've got American League managers going into National League parks. You've got pitchers hitting, which obviously is an injury risk to those pitchers that aren't used to hitting. In addition to that, a pitcher made the last out, was supposed to be the base runner, and Tony didn't realize that he could have swapped out the hitter before him, who made the out before him. Look, let's just get over it. The Chicago White Sox are a very talented team. I think, actually, even though he hasn't managed in a long time, Tony La Russa has done a pretty good job to start the year. He's got them in a good spot in the American League Central. I hope they lay off this guy and just let him go about his business. Another outstanding pitching performance today, Zach Wheeler. Complete game shutout, 9 innings, 8 strikeouts over the Milwaukee Brewers. This is a guy who's coming into his own now. The Mets gave up on him a little bit, you might say. He signed with the Phillies. They paid him a ton of money. A little bit of a disappointment last year, as were the Phillies as a whole, but they revamped. They've got a better bullpen, and this guy and Aaron Nola are going to be tough to deal with for the National League East. The rest of those teams anyway. Let's get into the DraftKings picks for this 14-game slate, starting with the pitching. It's been pretty profitable to pay up at both pitcher slots. There's been plenty of value on the offensive side, and there's a couple of guys that I like in the 8-9K range tonight, beginning with Jack Flaherty at home against the Colorado Rockies. Colorado coming out of Colorado, away from their home field. This is where we like to target them, and Jack Flaherty has been pretty good to start the year. 26% strikeout rate and 11% swinging strike rate. He's just 9.4K on DraftKings. I like him quite a bit in this matchup. The other guy I like, Zach Gallen, 8.9K going into New York. A bit of a pitcher's park. Not a bit, it actually is a very good pitcher's park. He got roughed up a little bit at home against Colorado last time out. 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 7 strikeouts though. And I like him to rebound against this New York Mets team that has played 3 games in 2 days, coming off of a series in St. Louis. Zach Gallen, 30% strikeout rate, 12% swinging strike rate, and a 43% ground ball rate. Like him quite a bit here in Citi Field at 8.9K. Stacks, let's go to Minnesota. Again, I think Tariq Skubal is going to be a pretty good Major League pitcher, but he's just not there yet. And Detroit has one of the worst bullpens in all of Major League Baseball. Let's look at Byron Buxton. Bit expensive, but he's just been outstanding. He can get you points via power or via speed with the stolen bases. 5.9K. Nelson Cruz, 5.4K on DraftKings. And rounded out with the bringer of rain, Josh Donaldson. Been hot and cold to start the year, but I think this is a matchup that can jumpstart him here. In Detroit, 5.1K for Josh Donaldson. You need a little more evidence to target Tariq Skubal. How about a 14% walk rate, a 20% barrel rate, and 3.27 home runs per 9, in addition to the fact that the bullpen is taxed after a series against the Red Sox and will be overmatched in this game tonight. The other matchup I like, Seattle Mariners. Really, really good to start the year. A really talented offense. They're going into Texas. It's a bit of a difficult park to target offense, but they're going against Mike Foltynewicz. And Foltynewicz has actually rebounded pretty well this year. He's pitched absolutely great for the most part at home. He's coming off a pretty good outing against the Boston Red Sox. 6 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, and only 2 earned runs. But I just think there's too much firepower in this Mariners offense, starting with Kyle Seager at just 4.8K. Kyle Lewis at 3.7K had a big home run the other night, turned the tide for the Mariners. And then J.P. Crawford is a guy that I always like to play. He's got speed. You can steal on Foltynewicz. He's also got a little power. He's just 3.8K in the shortstop spot. He'll probably be in the 7 through 9 hole, so He's not going to get a lot of ownership either. Give me the Seattle Mariners against Mike Foltynewicz. A lot of news is going to break. A lot of things are going to change. We're going to get umpire assignments, weather. We're going to maybe even get a couple of different pitching options because Chris Flexen right now is targeted to start that game in Texas. So, where do you go if you need the updates? RunPureSports.com or RunPureBets.com and enter RPS Heater 25. You'll get 25% off of your first month's payment. So for now, we're going to look at Jack Flaherty, Zach Gallen, the Minnesota Twins, and the Seattle Mariners. But visit us, get in our Discord, RunPureSports.com. We will carry you up until lock with any changes, anything that happens, anything where we think we see an edge on this 14-game slate. Let's close it out with a couple of bets for tonight. I've talked about the Minnesota Twins. I've talked about Byron Buxton. I've talked about Josh Donaldson. I've talked about Nelson Cruz. And, of course, I've talked about the Detroit Tigers, Tariq Skubal, and their bullpen. Minnesota, pretty interesting value here, I think. Minnesota run line, -1.5 at +108 on DraftKings. I think that Minnesota wins that pretty easily. I think that's some pretty good value, at least as of this recording. The second bet, Washington Nationals going into New York, into Yankee Stadium. Patrick Corbin hasn't been particularly great to start the year, and he faces a New York Yankees offense that is coming out of their early season slumber. Giancarlo Stanton has just been torrid at the plate over the last week. He really demolishes left-handed pitching. So New York Yankee run line -1.5, +108 on DraftKings. Pretty good value. Minnesota -1.5, +108 on DraftKings. And the New York Yankees -1.5, also +108 on DraftKings. Those are the two bets. But again, we'll have bets up at runpurebets.com. And if you use RPS Heater 25, you'll get 25% off of your first month's payment. So go ahead, like this video, subscribe to the Mayo Media Network. Join us at Run Pure Sports and RunPureBets.com. You can find me at JT Hayes Jr. on Twitter.com. Run Pure tonight.